Okay, let's start the garden party bag today. It's a little bit more complicated than pagoda. Then other overall craftsmanship is very similar to the pagoda. It just pastes one more lining than the pagoda. Then the overall movement is also to form a bucket. Then add a bottom. And here is an extra inner pocket. Also an extra wrapping and folding process. So the difficulty increases little by little. If you have experience in this process, you can skip it. If you are a novice, please take a look. There are relatively many more parts than the pagoda, but it's not that complicated if we sort them out. This is the leather of the footpad, this is the leather of the zipper window and its accessories. These three widths are different, the lengths are the same. There are also two long ones for handles. What's the difference between the handle of garden party and pagoda? Pagoda is just two pieces of leather glued against each other and has a bulge effect. This is wrapped with a round PVC core. It is a three-dimensional. And then this is the lower connection leather. This part and the lower part is the strap on the side. The side strap of the pagoda are integrated. Well, garden party is this connector, so this is much easier to operate. Everything else is the same, and let's start doing it one by one now. Let's start with these small pieces first. Because the small pieces are easy to do, that's the first point. The second point is that you need an oil edge. Let's make them together first for those need oiling edge. Leave out the main body first, because the edge of the main body and the bottom don't need to be held. Buckle strap. After fitting, go to the oil edge and then in the upper and lower ends 1 cm away from the edge. They're all thin to 0. Because the lower part will be folded. The upper part will be wrapped. Just stick the leathers together. Then the patch leather at the bottom. Same making process. Directly stick them together, punch stitching holes, and trim off excess leather. Finally, regards to the oil edge, just oil these two long sides. Don't worry about these three straps, just match it one by one. The widths of the three are different. Be sure to read this text message on the pattern carefully. Don't use it wrong. Then the zipper leather is the same. Combine the leather with the bonded leather, then punch and correct, and oil it finally. This is lower connection leather. The same thing. Only one side of the lower connection leather needs an oil edge. Then the bottom part participates in flipping seam. The bottom sewn area don't need a oil edge because it's folded at the end. We will punch stitching holes in advance. And just oil the top edge, and then the handle. We'll do it later. Let's hit these ones that need oil edge in advance first. After the handle is corrected, find a bonded leather. Cut it for 0.5 cm. For 0.5 cm per section. A total of 4 sections. Then we shovel them thin all around. Be sure to thin it to 0. That's it. And we'll line it up along this marker. Align the point above. We'll just glue this part. Don't glue it all. This is where the bonded leather is brushed and glued. It's enough about this volume. Let's bend and glue it a little bit. Just bend and stick it here. Then don't brush glue here. Must be thin to 0. It's here. It doesn't feel like a step to attach. Then we will get furthers ready. Find the PVC core. Cotton rope and leather rope are okay. Measure the distance from here. We'll pin its length here. All the way here. It'll bend like this, so we cut it like this. Push diagonally down from the place we just marked. That's it. And it's the same here. Fold and sew in half like this. Just stick it on first, then put the handle here and fold it in half. Sew up the middle part. There is a starting point on the pattern, sew according to the starting point. Then there's a close hole written on the pattern, so this is where we start. Sew all the way from here to here. Other places remain open. Okay, let's make this handle. This has been corrected. This is very simple. 1 mm surface leather, 0.4 mm small soft leather fiber. It's pre-enlarged after it's fitted. Then paste the pattern. Punch stitching holes. Correct it finally. Be sure to mark this area when punching and correcting. In this area of the pattern, mark it on the side, then wait here for a while to do partial reinforcement. Both ends. We've took video about the handle part just now. Yuan's operation was not very good. Well, first of all, for centimeters of this bonded leather. Okay. Cut and think to 0 all around, taking it easily. Don't lift your hand too high when traveling. If you lift it too high, it will be easy to cut like this. Crescent shape can be used, but it doesn't look good, right? So this needs a little practice. If you have nothing to do, take the scraps to practice. Instead of just watching, right? Touch with your hands to see if it reaches 0. It doesn't matter if it breaks, but don't break it too ugly, right? Mark a line first, because it's small, not easy to control. It's normal, so don't worry. Cut slowly. Saying cut to 0, it has to be 0. Isn't it okay to cut it like this, right? Then glue. In this area. That's it. Same here, too. This is the cut side. There's the flat side. On the flat side, just spin a little glue like this. No need to fill it up. Then align the line above. Bend and glue. See, it's bent and glued. Right after that. And this is the bottom one. Don't worry about the bottom one. Just leave it alone. Same way to operate here. If it is broken, it is a little ugly, but it doesn't matter. You still need to practice the thinning skill. Brush a little glue. And then align this line. Bend and glue. That's it. We will locate the handle against the red dots here. Did you see it? The handle starts from the first red dot to the end of the red dot. You see? Okay. There are 2 red dots. Marks can be found on pattern. Then thinner from red dot starts to the end. Same here. Then align this top with this red dot. The red dot is probably in this location. Right here. Do you understand? Then start sewing from this point. This dot corresponds to the stitching hole. Okay, so from the stitching hole to this red dot, start with 3 stitches back. Finish with 3 stitches back. Okay, let's sew first. Now let's do this bottom. This bottom is the same as the percodan, a vegetable tan leather pad core. I just cut it off, but I haven't torn it off yet. That's not important. Then an inner and outer leather. We need to mark the midpoints when we make the percodan, then indent and center it. And just now, Shirley asked one question, and I thought that was a good question. That's what some beginners may ask. That is, why there is no pre-big pattern for the inseam part? For example, we've talked about it before. What is the purpose of the pre-large pattern? The purpose of pre and large pattern is for refining in this way. After I ripped it off and thinned it. After that, it was squeezed twice. Then this edge must be uneven, big or small. Right, so we need a second correction. So, at that time, it was necessary to use a pre-large pattern to cut the material, so we can have a better control of leather thickness. No worries that it transformed, because we can fix it with the corrected pattern. In this case, we can have a neat edge and precise alignment. That's what enlarged pattern is for. But sometimes why no pre-large pattern? Let's imagine that when we make Kelly or Birkin bag, there's a buckle strap, right? We don't need to thin its edge. We just need to thin its overall thickness. Let's imagine these two pieces of leather are pre-large leather for the buckle strap. Just the difference in shape. We just need to make sure it's pre-large. After gluing them together, cut off the excess part based on the corrected pattern, and we're done. Now you know why there is no necessary to pre-large some certain parts, right? So things like buckle straps, they doesn't need pre-large pattern. There is no need pre-large patterns for inseam areas like this one either. Why? Normally after thinning its overall thickness, we will thin its edges well, right? After about 2 steps, it will deform, right? No worries, let it be. Why? Because the bottom of the inseam bag, it will be bent and glued, right? Even it's made at the beginning after correcting. When we bend and glue, it will be misplaced. So we have to make a second correction. So these inseam areas, including this bottom, no need for large pattern. Go directly with the corrected pattern. Cut the leather directly after correcting. When we thin its edge through 801 leather scaling machine, it must be deformed, right? Let it go. No worries. You just need to find the middle point, because it only affects the edge. It doesn't affect the overall deformation in the middle, right? I just need to locate these points. Just center it and fit it. Then I will fit this other leather. I will bend and glue it. For example, bend and glue like this. After bending and gluing, the edges must not be neat, right? Let it go. No worries. Because that variation is not big. It is not like outer seam Birkin. Not like this outer seam bag. Because if the edges of the outer seam are uneven, it's hard to wheel edge, right? But the inseam. Why are the sidelines of our inner seams generally 5mm or 6mm? Why not 2.5 mm? Because 5mm or 6mm. After sewing, we can polish it at one time. Let's summarize it. When we don't need pre-large pattern, the inner seam pattern cannot be pre-enlarged. For example, this bottom. Wait a minute, we're going to do it. I will paste this bottom. Those are good questions. They are commonly asked by novices. This is why many people, if they're used to making vegetable tan leather goods, once they start doing the chrome tan leather goods, they will get nervous when they see no stitching holes on the pattern. In fact, the stitching holes are not compulsory. Actually, we just need these positioning points. For example, this is the inner leather. After fitting, I will trim off excess leather. Okay, this inner bottom is corrected, right? We'll take it off later, and thin its edge by 801 machine, right? But be sure to do midpoint mark here. Sometimes we can make some tick-shaped mark, like this, even if it's not marked on the pattern. You can also make it yourself. It's small, about 1 mm. We see the sideline of the inseam bag. The margin is narrow. The switches are basically 3.5 to 5 mm. So if you cut 1 mm, it will not have any effect on the structure and strength. Okay, I can take it off after I mark the 4 midpoints. Then I will fix the second one. You can make corrections like this even a little rougher. Hurry up because it doesn't matter. Okay, now I will mark the midpoint. We see the bottom is not cut neatly. It's just a few tenths of a millimeter away, so I won't fix it. Okay, now we'll finish the edge by 801 machine. After that, let's use this pattern to align the leather we cut earlier. Okay, take a closer look after it's done. You'll notice that the edge isn't tidy, right? There is a few tenths of a millimeter difference on the left and right. It wouldn't be less here and more here. It will be big on both sides, because once it's squeezed, it will be enlarged all around. Are you able to see it clearly? And then, find a ruler and let's connect the midpoints. Remember using a mercury pen, but here I will not use mercury pen because it's hard for you to see clearly. So I use a slightly darker pen. Then include this excipient. We also draw the midline for it. Okay, find the outer bottom. I'm going to glue both sides, and I will fit them together. When it fits, as long as these lines are neatly aligned, it must be very centered. Okay, it's all glued. Some people may ask, what should I do if I accidentally set it up wrong? Let's use the pattern to assess. A gentle slash from the middle, but don't cut it off. Then bend over. Bend over and put it. Put it here temporarily. Block it. Put it here temporarily. Prevent sticking. Then align it and glue. Set this line first. This midpoint is set. Then it can be flattened here. After leveling here, pull the side up. And then align this point here with these 4 points. These 4 points are all aligned. Then this one must be in the middle. Let's pause this again. This is enlarged inner leather. We will glue the inner leather. Now brush glue. Okay, the inner and the outer leather are glued. Then it also aligns the top and bottom points, left and right points. Okay, after alignment, because it's inner leather, we're going to start with a flat surface. Don't paste the edge yet. We need to know which direction we need to flip the bag, because now the outer leather is on the bottom. The bag must be turned up finally. Ready? So the outer leather must be facing up. Then bend and glue downward. Ready? Bend and glue at this time. Just go to the bend like this. Because we have this excipient to be a backer in the middle, so this bend and glue must be very accurate. See here, it's a lot excess volume of the pre-large leather, right? We'll trim the excess part later. Now you'll say, is there any point in pre-large pattern for this part? It doesn't make any sense, right? That's why some parts of the inner seam bag not needed. Okay, so after bending it like this, we turn it over. The whole state at the bottom of the bag is in the shape of a ball, like a leather plate, right? You say, when I make this bottom, I didn't mark the cut of these 2 stitches, right? Why? If you are used to using the logic of making vegetable tanned leather to make chrome tanned leather goods, such as punch stitching holes in advance. But the leather is so soft and so thin, right? It will be very uncomfortable if you pull it and cause slight deformation during the operation. That's better to like glue it first and put the pattern on. At this time, you need to be more precise. Apply it more accurately. Then we will use this pattern to trim off excess interior leather. But what remains constant is this midpoint. The basis of the whole operation is this midpoint. After the operation, I will punch stitching holes. Now there is an increase in thickness, also a strengthening of excipients, so there will be no deformation after we correct it at this time. Say, we have a large margin after bending and pasting down. Then we can correct the remaining large inner leather through the outer leather. So if you cut material first and then correct it, it equals to add. An extra process. Okay. That's fixed too. As long as I guarantee that these four midpoints are still there, that's it. Even if the edge is not neat, no worries, because first, I have enough volume to cut and align. Second, for example, the pacotin, it belongs to the inseam bag. Even the edge is not neat, as long as it's not too exaggerated. You can't see any fold after folding. In other words, the intention of the enlarged pattern is for us to make a neat edge, but the inseam bag is usually not needed. If it is an outer seam bag, it must be operated through enlarged pattern, because even it's half a millimeter short, it's very difficult to polish the edge and apply oil on it. Why? Firstly, the outer seam bag, the edge distance we reserve is very narrow, 2.5 mm, right? But we have reserved 3.5 to 5 millimeters for the inner seam bag, so it has enough width for sanding. Second, folding edge bag like this. Just fold and unwrap the edge, so it doesn't matter if the edges are relatively untidy. Okay, this is about the pre-expansion and the production of this bag bottom. Let's talk about it here. After gluing the exterior and interior leather at the bottom, glue the strap as well. We're done sewing this bottom, sew all these layers together. This thread needs to be sewn through. Then make sure it's okay. Let's finish this one. There's one more to finish. Put this 4 millimeters away from the edge. We're going to do the sanding. If not, sanding this side won't stick well. You can also use a knife. You can also use sandpaper blocks. Polish this one, then we are done. The oil on the back of the zipper can be brushed out a little. Then after brushing the edge oil, it will be a little hard. There is some small fluff that can be cut off. Okay, we've oiled the edge of this cloth. It's oiled. Let's iron it after oiling. The oil on this side is very relaxed and casual. It's better to overflow some of the line. Then iron it a little bit. Oil on the cloth is actually very easy because it's very permeable. And it's flat as soon as it's ironed. No need to polish. Then after the flat edge is finished, make up this side like this, and it's okay. You can also iron it on the top. Well, just cover this white with this green. Okay, then find such a small probe for installing a zipper. Just stock the zipper ruler with 3mm width. In this case, it is more concentrated when gluing, and the zipper fabric is easier to level up. Otherwise, this zipper fabric will easily twist. Then pull to pair a double-sided tape. Then when pulling double-sided tape, there is a zipper head here, so this zipper fabric is more uneven. Let's skip it first, no worries. We're going to start at the flatter end. The double-sided tape must be flat, otherwise it will be uneven after the zipper fabric is installed. Then throw away the zipper head when it is about to be glued here. When the zipper stands up, you can pull it away. If you are flat like this, you can't pull it because it wears a lot. Be sure to stand up the zipper head. And make sure the zipper fabric is flat. Then drop this double-sided tape. And it's the same here. Now tear this double-sided tape off. lay it flat and then center this little pearl. In this way, our zipper is installed very flat. Then find this zipper. Same inside, pattern is facing upward. It's used vertically. Do not use horizontally. Let's flip it over. After pasting, let's sew this circle up. Then sew the thread under the zipper by the way. Don't sew this side, the top and the side here first. Okay, let's sew it. The bottom line, after sewing. Now the back is in such a state. Just pull the thread directly to the back and tie it on. Then this cloth. Pull it down like this. Align here. You can put a piece of double-sided tape here. This is the zipper pocket. This is what zipper pocket does. Then pull it up. Put another strip of double-sided tape on it. Okay, and now let's sew the remaining half circular thread. After sewing, it is still in an open state. Then just sew this side again. I'm done sewing the top half and this half. After sewing, it is open now, which is such a state. The texture of the whole fabric is up and down. It still leaks on the side, right? We can mend this place with a needle. We don't need to punch stitching holes when sewing the fabric. Let's get a nylon thread. Why nylon thread? Because it doesn't need to tie knots. Just spin it and it's done. Tie a pimple here first. Then from here. You can sew like this. Just a few more stitches. Then pull the thread like this. Don't pull it too hard. If you pull it hard, the fabric will be uneven. Just level it out like this. Okay. When sewing it here, we'll turn it over, then sew it back. Then at the end, sew a few more stitches over and over again. Remember not to pull too far to the side when sewing the fabric, if it's too side-blind. When we pull back like this, the line here collapses, like this, So when sewing the fabric, keep the edge at least 6 mm or more. Then to the last stitch. We go back and forth a few more laps. Cut and burn it. That's it. Although it looks ugly from the back, but you can feel it from the front. Same as the side, so we're done with the zipper pocket. All zipper hidden bags are made like this. If we encounter a zipper pocket in the future, we can watch back to this video. Leather frame of handmade zipper pocket. It is usually round, while most of leather frame of the zipper pocket like LV are rectangular. And then there's one more little thing here, where we can emboss the logo. It's the shape difference. Everything else is the same. Okay, let's make this exterior leather of the main body. The color scheme I chose was white and green. Color matching, I didn't do simple color, because it is a bit too monotonous. Then let's fix this first. Then correct. Be sure to mark the midpoint after the correction. Here it is. We're going to punch this round hole and install the 4-in-1 buckle. You don't need to penetrate, just set the location first. See the stitching holes here? Well, I'm going to sew it by machine from here and there, but I will sew the handle by hand, so I'll have to punch the hole here in advance. After punching holes, we'll thin it with 801 machine on the lower side. Okay, after thinning the edge, we'll align the splicing leather and stitch them together. If you sew by hand, see here, the stitching holes are punched separately, so we just sew against the stitching holes. This handle is finished sewing. After the handle is sewn, the bundled leather is in such a state. What if it gets a little bigger? We can trim it when it is a little big. Fix it with a knife, flatten the handle like this. Then just fix the excess part. We need to add a piece of bundled leather here. Otherwise, this handle will be wrinkled when it's attached to the main body. So be sure to add a bundled leather to support it. In this case, the transition will be very natural. Don't fix this bundled leather too firmly. If this piece is glued, it is prone to wrinkles, right? So when to brush the glue, when not to brush glue, be sure to figure it out. Okay, let's put the handle aside when we're done. There's the lining. This is another lining. This zipper pocket is also ready. The 4 side straps are also ready. Just put those aside. Here is one of the finished main body for your reference. And now I'm going to do another one. Let's demonstrate how to do it. It's the same making process. We need to punch stitching holes here. And punch the green parts as well. Just follow the pattern. After this main body is connected with the lower leather, we take a little single piece. Then we add a layer of leather fiber beneath the main body. It's 1.0 mm leather fiber, same size as the exterior leather. If the leather is too thin, the 4-in-1 buckle will shake when installed. That's why we need to add a layer of small leather fiber. After it's connected, I will glue this side. Thin for edges of the 1.0 mm small leather fiber. This circle has to be thinned to 0. then fit it. When fitting, stick with a little bit curve. Just tear it open and stick with a little bit curve. Same here. Okay, after fitting, turn it over and trim the pre-large leather fiber through exterior leather. Well, in this case, we're done the main body. We're going to start sewing this handle now. Just sew it against the punching hole. Same with this one. Before sewing, find a masking tape. Pull this handle a little bit. Before sewing the handle to the main body, we'll pin the bottom edge. Thin this edge to 0. Same here too, thin for ends of the handle. Okay, now we can stitch the handle with the main body. Okay, let's glue the edges after sewing. It's about a centimeter across. Then this inner lining cloth is also brushed with glue at the edge. Match the midpoint. Fold it like this. We'll get a midpoint. Stick the flat place first. Same here. Put it here after fitting. Just screw it with a little bit of curve. It's the same here. Open. Okay. Finally, bend and stick the bottom edge. This is the wrapping leather, the hemming strip on the upper edge. No need to stick it now, but need to mark the position of this hemming strip. Fold it like this, find your middle place. Mark it. We'll fit the whole lining like this. It won't have too many folds. After finishing, it will be in such an effect. Then use a compass to find an approximate width. That's it. And now, don't sew the hemming strip first. Let's determine this width first. Right up like this. Then the width here is fixed. The width of one side is fixed. The other side is also settled. And now, we'll make the golden party bag like the Pacoden bag. Stitching them together through the buckle strap. The buckle strap made previously. I thinned at the upper and lower ends. The top end is thinned a little narrower. The top end is thinned a little wider. Then find the midline. Then glue this leather along this midline. Be sure to align. After fitting, same here, we'll use the needle to penetrate through the hole at the alignment when gluing. Then stick it on and sew two lines. After this one is sewn, let's sew this one as well. Doesn't this form it to you? This one is easier to glue. Say, well, because it's flat, but this one is relatively not easy to glue. So here is a tip. Stand the board up. After standing like this, I'll tell you how to glue it after it's done. Pull a straight double-sided tape. This one's not moving. Take it as a straight reference line. Add an extra small piece. And get the strap. Okay, fit it. There's a straight line here. There's a straight line here. Put this back together. Align top. Then stick it on. Close the side too. It's aligned like this. There is a straight line. Then we align the strap with the double-sided tape above. Then tear this off. Now we can sew the thread. Okay, let's shape this bag into a cylinder. Right, it's a cylinder now. Then check carefully. See if this buckle strap is parallel enough to this bottom. If no problem, put it aside. We have finished sewing this side. Then let's making the piping leather. How to wrap the piping core. We have introduced before in the Pacoden bag tutorial, so we'll skip it here. When we finish the piping of the Pacoden bag, it's the method of wrapping the right side with the left side, right? So this time, let's show another method of finishing the piping. Just use such a leather joint, cut a small piece of leather. Take a leather at 0.3 of a millimeter thickness. The thinner, the better. Then add a 0.4 millimeter bonded leather beneath it. Just cut a width randomly. There is no pattern for this. None needed. Then on the edge, we'll put it in the middle. Now I'm going to spray this with glue, then align the midpoint. Put it down first. Add some Kenda 3 and 9K glue in it. Must be central, don't fall crooked. I've seen a lot of people draw it crooked. Align one head. Just center it and fit it here. Then align the edges. Just one lap. After trimming the corner, continue to wrap. Okay, mark it after gluing until here. Open it. cut it off and bring it over. Then it needs to be aligned just right. Just right after alignment, tight bonding. You can add some glue here. After applying the glue, be sure to stick it as tightly as possible when bending it down. Tighten this place while you wait. If factory made this bag, they just start sewing. They won't glue in advance. It is in the shape of a very standard bowl after gluing, like a long plate, the plate with the fish. Must be clamped tightly, clamped with great force, because it has many layers of leather here. Okay, a nice plate, isn't it? Then correct the excess. Then apply glue in a circle. Sand this surface off, it sticks better this way. This glue nozzle, isn't it bigger? If it's a little bit big, for applying glue on this narrow edge, the glue is easy to overflow into the tabletop, right? No worries, you can modify this glue nozzle. Take a lighter and soften this mouth, pinch it in half. Then the mouth got smaller, so the glue came out smaller, but it's great to modify tools. Transform it based on your demands. After applying glue, set it aside. We sanded this edge in advance. Now turn it over. Okay, sort it out. Well, it's pretty uneven right now. Apply another circle of glue. After the bottom is wrapped with piping, it's time to punch stitching holes. Start at this joint. And finish here. This pricking iron space can be arranged at will. That's not important. The only thing to notice is, first, when punching, we have to cross this joint. Second, punch it against the ridge. If you don't punch against the ridge, when you flip the bag, this piping will be not tight. Lastly, this pricking iron should not be perpendicular to the desktop. It is perpendicular to the material, not perpendicular to the tabletop. Since this is a curved gluing, so the leather edge is not flat. The edges look like this, so I need to punch it perpendicular to the leather like this. Then, align these for midpoints to be the same as the bottom of the cotton bag. Okay, after aligning the midpoint, by the way, paste this straight line segment. Then paste the midpoint on the opposite side. The needle is ready. We just punch against the piping, right? So this hole must have locked the piping very tightly. In that case, after turning the bag over, the piping will be exposed. When sewing, ensure that this surface is neat, right? Because this area can be seen. It's okay if the side is relatively not good looking. because after the bag is turned over, this is folded inside, so if there's a priority, make sure it's beautiful outside. Then when sewing, just sew it like this. Punch holes with a round pricking iron in advance, and then one wall, one stitch. By the time we get here, the tape just comes out. Be sure to pull this thread. Make sure the thread is not splattered and pull it again. Tighten up, then the rest is the same. Okay, twist it. Before never leaves the hand. Keep it in your hand. Never throw the needle out of your hand. No worries if you're not used to it at the beginning. Be sure to pull it. Then draw it again. When I drew it, the needle was caught by this finger. Then pull the thread with your hand, understand? It's more pulling with the needle, then tighten. Then stand it all up again. Isn't it silky? If this is your first time to use the awl to penetrate the hole like this, you may not be able to penetrate on a line where the awl comes out. There is no shortcut, but only practicing. Or you can draw an auxiliary line to standardize your needle extraction position. You can control the direction of the awl comes out. If you feel this position is wrong, not in a straight line, withdraw the awl, adjust it, and then repenetrate it. We can add hemming strips now. The hemming strips are punched with stitching holes on both sides. When gluing, you can draw a line here, then stick it along the line. You just need to make sure that the hemming strip can cover the sewn thread. Stick it flat and go around. The only thing I need to talk about is this arc sewn. It has folds inside, right? At this time, we must use the elasticity of leather. Because the leather is very thin, it can be elastic, right? So let's pull it flat at the end first. Be sure to pull it when you get to this place. Pull it and utilize its elasticity to level the place. In the middle here, you can use these little tweezers. Fit the straight area first. Use tweezers to cut the middle. Go down and paste. In this way, it will not have an arc after pasting the corner. Keep this place not move. You can see it when I post this corner. Be sure to pull it. Pull and then paste it again. Then press the middle. Press it, press it, press it. In this way, there will be no folds when it is pasted inside. Is there no wrinkles? Okay, got it. We must use the elasticity of leather to deal with this excess amount. If it is vegetable tanned leather, that type of hard leather will be difficult to handle. close it like this. Roughly set a location, cut it from here. That's it. You don't even have to thin it out. After pasting, take the old passet through. The two sides have been punch holes. Penetrate the hole from here to there. Sew it tightly, then it's done. After sewing the strip, clamp it with flat pliers. It is not only the clamping thread, but also fold this hemming in. So after we flip the bag and punch this edge, it will look more natural. Make it into a bow shape. Let's just flip it over. It's the same when flipping the bag. Just direct the top angle. After folding the corners, then push up the straight line area. Then top the bottom line here. Okay, so we will turn the whole bottom over. Turn it out completely. After flipping the bag, we'll paste this hemming strip. There is a line marked previously. Must drill with a mercury pen cause it can be removed. I use the red pen here because you can see more clearly. We'll edge in advance. One end has to be thin too. Remember, don't pull hard when glue this strip, because if it's deformed, it will not look good. Just gently apply the leather upon. Stick it around like this, okay. After determining the location of this interface, let's open it. Pin it here to make it transit naturally. After the outside is pasted, let's stick it on the inside. Fit the 4 midpoints first. Then gradually pinch the folds. Pinch it, then clip it, and then sew it. You can do it here and cut the stitches again. Otherwise, it will be difficult to align the holes if punch in advance. Of course, you can punch in advance. Just a little slower. So there is no compulsory method, no best, only the most suitable. So in the process of doing it, you can figure out a method that suits you. Then let's sew this around. We're done sewing this upper edge hemming strip. This one is easier to sew. It's much easier to sew than below. After sewing, we're going to punch through this hole. We've marked in advance. Now we need to get through it. One side is the male side. Another side is the female side. Find this backing plate. Bulge out. Find a round punch tool. 3 in total. Let's install this male buckle first. This is a 4-in-1 buckle. These hardware all stainless steel, so when you punch, you need to use a little more force. There's a male and a female. So 3 males and 3 females. 6 surface. The 4-in-1 buckle of the garden party is relatively special. It doesn't belong to either number 831 or other normal sizes, so its punch tools are customized. The thinner one is for punching the space. This thicker one is for this female buckle. Place the base first, then extend this leg out. Place on the base. If you hit like this, it's wrong. Okay. That's how we place that. Expose the side. That takes some effort. It's strong enough to punch like this. Then the 4-in-1 buckles on both sides need to be installed from the inside. Like this. Don't place it in wrong direction. If you install it wrong, you will scrap a set of hardware. Press the distance. Pitch to ensure vertical. This 4-in-1 buckle is ready. Three male buttons are ready. Notice this side, one is facing outward, the facing inwards. Then the same method, let's fit these 3 female buckles again. The middle one faces out. Install a female buckle. Change another punch tool. Make sure it's vertical. Then try the button. If it feels loose, punch it harder. After these 4 buttons are installed, test them one by one. Now, we have finished the garden party 26. The making process of garden 26 is exactly the same as that of garden 31, also garden 36.